is going in on as he collides with Castrogiovanni on the other side. Semenzato very carefully puts the ball in, like he's returning a library book. Controlled by Parise, penalty for Italy. It's one of those scrums, Alan, where to those who've never had their heads stuck in one, the outcome could have gone either way, but kind of hoping that you as an expert might be able to tell us what went on there.
Yeah, well, I think Perugini seems to have been given some verbals to Mike Ross afterwards. It's massive pressure. I think it's from the tight head side, from Castrogiovanni. We see it here. There's a good strong hit. Ireland look like they can hold it, but on the far side there you see Castrogiovanni. He gets the Cian Healy goes down on his knees, and it's you know, Kaplan has said that Ireland twisted the scrum there, but that's big pressure.
I don't think the cat calls will affect Mirko Bergamasco. He's been around long enough. This is his 85th international. Kind of put his hand up to take over the Italian kicking when no one else wanted to a couple of years ago. And he's not made a bad job of it. Italy are right back in it, 3-3.
Great strike from Bergamasco.
That's been one of Italian rugby's obsessions, as I'm sure you all know now, trying to find a replacement for Diego Dominguez. Not suggesting that Bergamasco is in the league of the little maestro just yet, but he's getting a decent percentage. Restart beautifully taken above his head by Parise. Semenzato goes high. Earls comes in to gather. Operating in midfield against the Russians in Rotorua. Back on the wing this evening. Carney runs around Mauro Bergamasco. Penalty coming to Ireland. O'Gara chancing his arm with the advantage. Beautiful offload in between Donnacha O'Callaghan and Cian Healy. This is Rory Best, taken on by Heaslip. Murray again, O'Gara, back to O'Brien. And we will come back for the penalty. Is that Mauro Bergamasco, who has been picked up by Jonathan Kaplan.
Clearly not rolling away Bergamasco. Kaplan picked it up straight away, signalled for the penalty, and Ireland played a few phases, and it's another opportunity for Ron O'Gara. Good possession though from Ireland there. They look quite confident. They look like they want to build phases. Their game plan tonight is probably to build those phases.
Yeah, if there are nerves, you're not seeing them. They're really building it nicely, putting the ball through the hands.
Yeah, as the guy said in the studio to start, this is an experienced Irish side, and they'll be quite confident coming in here tonight. They'll realise Declan Kidney will have spoke to them about the intensity they're going to face from Italy, and I think from their body language and the way they've approached this game from the start, it's one blemish, I suppose, to scrum, but they've looked quite composed.
Off the post. Italy rather desperately hoping that nothing more comes of it, and Gonzalo Garcia was grateful to gather the bouncing ball. Andrea Mazzi, the fullback, quickly shifts it to Bergamasco. Semenzato, Castrogiovanni, running into Ferris. Semenzato, Heldenhays, Roth still recovering. What a collision that was. Alan Quinlan thinks this ball will go high, and all of his test match experience brought him to the right conclusion. but it was very poorly executed by Cement Sato. Out on the full, Ireland will have the scrum.
Yeah, and it's a tactic that they've adopted. I think I've watched them in these pool matches. They look to clear their lines with that box kick from Cement Sato, and again we see it there, but poorly executed. What a hit from Stephen Ferris, though. He's so powerful, that guy, and Castro, another big man as well, will certainly feel that.
Ireland taking the line out. Beautifully plucked out of the hair, and Murray was very nearly away. Best driven forward by O'Connell. Ireland looking very likely whenever they get into the 22. O'Brien again. Murray to O'Gara. O'Driscoll outside, wriggling his way, and tried to ship the ball to Earls. Smuggled the ball to the left wing. But the Italians were wide awake, and Cornelius Fonsale made sure nothing came of it.
Great play from Conor Murray. O'Connell wins the line out. We'll see it here. O'Gara here to O'Driscoll. And I think he's running a little bit laterally, tries a little pass to Keith Earls, but the touchline catches him. But great break from Conor Murray off the line out to start all that.
You started off here, you must remain. Yes. You started off there, you must remain. You were. 5, he started there, he can't go.
Jonathan Kaplan just making sure that Italy stick with the numbers that they had in the line out initially, and Fonsale and Bergamasco have been forced to go back in, having wandered off, it seems. Giraldini's got to gather his thoughts. Parise was the choice.
Formation.
Italian line-out was never set, and that's the reason that Kaplan has attracted the ire of Parise.
It's actually blocking off there. I think the new rule where you lift a guy in the line out, it's been in it for about a year. You cannot go in behind the player and block off the opposition. Hopefully we'll get to see it again, but it's Parise is not happy about that. Van Zyl the same, very, very unhappy with that. We see it here. You see Van Zyl there, he goes in behind Parise there, and that's blocking off. It's a clear penalty in the new regulations. Big mistake, though.
Italy not the first to be caught out by it at this tournament. Heldon Hayes was involved as well.
It was my mistake. It was actually Heldon Hayes in front of Parise, but Nick Mallett would be very disappointed with that. It was a good win in the line-out from Parise.
On a night when you need a nerve steadier, Roger's your man. Ireland deservedly back ahead in the Otago Stadium, much to the delight of the majority of those inside today. Luciano O'Cara with the restart. First World Cup.
Roll 3!
Look down the Italian lineup, and if you're looking for hope for Ireland, it's that the likes of O'Cara are experiencing this intense atmosphere for the first time, the likes of Cement Sato as well. And it really does get dark and grimy later on. Ireland just seem to have more experience. Whether they will be able to make that pay remains to be seen. So far, it's been a relatively even start. O'Cara feeding Garcia, taken on by Mazzi. Cement Sato there again. O'Cara off his feet to Castro Giovanni. This time it was Sean O'Brien. Not so long ago, Ferris, now O'Brien. Cement Sato again, chipped ahead by Gonzalo Canale. And wise from Murray.
Very good play from Italy, building the phases. Ireland didn't give away the penalty. Their discipline was good there, but a great little chip through from Massey. Pressure right on Ireland here now.
Ferris and O'Brien are doing the kind of job on Castro Giovanni that you used to pay the mortgage doing. You'd have loved it out there, wouldn't you?
Well, he's their go-to man up the middle. When they want him to carry up the middle, Castro Giovanni makes a lot of carries, and see O'Brien shooting out of the line there.
Parise again the choice. Beats off the attention of O'Connell. But because O'Connell was on the floor, Parise fell over him, and that's drawn the penalty. Ireland's concern is that Italy might get a little bit more out of that. They're still driving towards the line, doing their absolute best to stay balanced, stay on their feet. That's how close they've got. Bergamasco does some shoving. Sato to Castrogiovanni. He's been knocked around early on.
I can't play anymore. No more advantage, otherwise we don't get the penalty.
Massive drive from the Italians there. They had Ireland on the rack. Clearly someone, I think O'Connell fell on the ground, and Kaplan, the referee, indicated a penalty straight away. But a massive drive and a big worry for Ireland there. We see it here. They had Ireland going backwards, and the penalty was already given there, but just held up short of the line. Great play from the Italian forwards. See the carry here from Castrogiovanni, just held up by O'Connell and Rory Best. Big let off there for Ireland.
Needed both of them though. Castrogiovanni was snorting fire.
It all started with Massey's chip through. It was a really good weighted chip. Conor Murray had to put it in touch, and the Italians then had the possession in the line-out.
It's not Johnny Wilkinson's favourite place, this, but Mirko Bergamasco is starting to like it. Half a dozen points apiece. And Italy haven't had long in Ireland's 22, but whenever they've been there, Alan, they seem to have come away with points.
Yeah, and they showed a lot of promise there with those phases of play. That'll do their confidence the world of good.
Ball won by Funsale. He was the big surprise in the inclusion when Mallet named his squad, made his debut in the month leading up to the tournament, but here he is. Cian Healy is furious about something, and Kaplan wants to have a word with him. Now, you don't want to jump to conclusions here, Alan, because it's always a dangerous game, but the way Healy has reacted suggests that gouging has gone on.
You still can't overreact. So I'd say to the number one, just be sensible. I know, but just be sensible, and we get on with the game. If I see it, I will act.
No, but he's supposed to react.
Yeah, there's a mention of some active foul play there. We can't see it here.
Well, eye gouging. Oh, goodness me. Well, that is unequivocal, and it's Giraldini who was at the centre of it. You're often inclined to give players the benefit of the doubt, Alan, because it gets very rough in those kinds of areas, but it's hard to come up with a defence for that.
Well, we'll have to see it again, see what weighed the angle of the body and stuff, but it certainly didn't look good from there, and Cian Healy's reaction was not a good one. Yeah, it doesn't look good, but the player isn't looking. He's not looking down at him. He certainly grabs him around the eyes. It doesn't look good there.
Cian Healy, more than most, will be aware of the dangers. He's just recovered from an operation to repair an eye socket. He was being tested there by Leonardo Giraldini. Sato to Parise. Italy have quickly made their way upfield. Irish tackling, though, was insistent, and they've won it back. O'Connell scrabbling on the floor to make the most of the tackling, of which Keith Earls was at the centre.
Massive hit from O'Driscoll and Sean O'Brien. Darcy, three-man tackle.
Bergamasco could see what he was trying to do. It's not a match that needed a spark, but it's just been given one.
Well, the Irish looked like they're a bit fired up after that incident there. Massive hit in midfield, and great turnover, all the forwards in, counter-rucking, massive turnover. Great kick by O'Gara then.
O'Connell, the man who completed the turnover. It's not directed to him, though.